Hey there, Sagittarius. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, all you need to do is go onto my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Or, of course, you may also simply follow the links below. I've got a sale going on right now, 20% off all services, including gift certificates, as well as I'm also accepting tips and donations, and your Build-A-Spread horoscopes will be coming up here shortly. So what is going on as it comes to this coming week? This week is all about dealing with things as they are versus dealing with them as they present or hope to be. And that's kind of a big lesson I think a lot of people are kind of learning all at once. I feel like it's almost something that you would probably need to have come up in an incoming wave versus maybe a horoscope for a particular sign population. But this does feel extra pronounced for you. And the reason I'm feeling this is because you're kind of spending a lot of this week getting to look behind the curtain for every circumstance, kind of like you are Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, getting to finally see the wizard behind the curtain. And this does not have to necessarily be something negative, right? Some people might not necessarily like the idea of something presenting as something else because they'll feel like it's a gross lie and a deception. But, then you could say that about somebody who's trying to fake it till they make it as well. Are they just a liar? It's a question that is very challenging, but at the same time, maybe the judgment can be taken out of it, because I'm not seeing this being a negative week, but it is a deeply informative and clarifying week. We have to work with things where they are, not just where they present or hope to be. And that has a lot to do with the moon card upright as far as the spiritual themes of what's going on with your week. It's not to say that anything's going out of its way to openly deceive or entrap you. I actually think that you may be finding, though, that in a weird way you're getting closer to your goals, closer to maybe your heroes or to people that you might see as role models, job opportunities that you see are ideal, or maybe even starting to get closer to subject matter that has always deeply enchanted you. But when you start to see the multiple layers of what is going on there, remember, you can only work with something where it is, no matter how it's presenting. And you may be finding that this is actually giving you more opportunities than you thought. Sometimes with the moon, we think that something is either inaccessible or untouchable because it's presenting a certain way, or we might think that something is negative because it's presenting a certain way, or positive because it's presenting a certain way. And then we find out that no, that is absolutely not the case. There actually is a lot more that we can work with. This is something that is very pliable, and you're going to be seeing that this week is actually very constructive for you and very prosperous for you if you're willing to kind of work with that level of fluidity, which is what the moon is all about. In fact, as we get on to your material realm, your work, your finances, we've got the Six of Wands in reverse, and this is giving some kind of reassessment of an opportunity, or maybe of a financial avenue, or maybe a career choice that either A, you kind of blocked yourself off from, maybe you didn't think you could do it, maybe you had a certain opinion about a certain business owner or a certain company or a certain type of account or financial negotiation. The Six of Wands reverse is indicating we are actually able to adjust our course here if we actually decide we are going to drop any preconceived notions we had about whatever this opportunity was. Now, this might be that something we dismissed as negative or foolhardy or irresponsible turns out to be actually safer and more stable than we thought. But for some of you, it may be that you find that there is something here that could be a deal breaker in another avenue, in another respect, because we're doing a big reversal with the Six of Wands reversed. Okay, it's, as I've said, it's sort of a backpedal card in former readings. And so some of you may be backing out of a commitment that you have made financially. You may be actually withdrawing your interests, your investments, your time, your schedule from maybe certain clients or certain projects. Some of you may be deciding to back off from maybe a professional commitment that you've made or that you're about to make if you're in an interview process for something else. And some of you will be also finding that something that you have been not taking very seriously, something that you didn't think was actually going to be worth it to you, suddenly becomes actually very, very special, very, very important to you. But I will say with the Six of Wands reversed, you're also going to find that you have to get a lot more involved with what you do choose. You may find out that possibly somebody that you thought was on top of things, or a company, or maybe a professional path that had its own sort of way already set, is not so. And so you're kind of coming in at a change of an era for that job, for that company, or for that opportunity as well. When we get to your community card, we talk about friends, relatives, maybe other people in your life. We've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And there is this, again, continued sense of what we thought was being handled by another person or being handled by them well is not actually being handled very well at all. With the Wheel of Fortune reversed, we can sometimes see where somebody is kind of taking too much of a surrendery attitude, maybe waiting to be saved, waiting for the other, the external to do it, hoping somebody smarter or more capable or stronger or more maybe developed comes along and takes care of it for them. Because the Wheel of Fortune reversed is basically saying they're in the driver's seat, but they're driving something very important into the ground by not actually taking the opportunity to its fullest potential. This might be something that you are inheriting from a friend, a relative, or a collaborator, or a group. This might be something that you're picking up that wasn't taken care of very well. You get a chance to adopt it and, raise it to its full potential, so to speak, for yourself. Or you may be finding that this is something that you're walking into where you have a chance to maybe stake a claim on it if you are willing to do what another person won't or can't. But don't let yourself lose any credit for this. You're not coming in to speak to the victim here. You're not here to do this to fortify or empower or artificially empower the victim here. You are coming in to basically make sure that this is seen through for the highest interest of all concerned. As we get on to your challenge this week, or we talk about your lessons that present as challenges, we do have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And this week, it's important to make sure that you are getting yours out of things. And this is a weird thing to say. It's just what I'm getting from this card is that you have to make sure that you are understanding that you have to enforce a sense of equivalent exchange when it comes to where you're putting your energies. Because with the Page of Pentacles reversed, sometimes we can see a situation falling through. Again, sometimes we find ourselves in a circumstance where we do have a chance to make a very positive change, either in a group dynamic, a professional dynamic, a work dynamic, family dynamic, but you might not be seeing a return on your investment if people don't improve, or if people are not choosing to improve on their ways. So yeah, that's where you need to do a bit of an energy exchange. Like, okay, look, there's no point in me doing this just out of the goodness of my own heart if you're just going to let things deteriorate in a week, or you're going to fall back on unstable ways in a week, or you're going to let it, decay. Like, let's make it worth everyone's while. You do deserve a proper energy exchange. And so make sure that you are allowing yourself to, of course, ask for something in return. As we get on to your relationships, love, and romance, and partnerships, we've got the Five of Wands in reverse. And this is a week where a lot of you Sagittarius people are finding that a lot of external influences, or maybe even incompatible schedules, or incompatible external commitments, right? Friends, relatives, things like that, are starting to kind of drift back. The tide's going out when it comes to those things. This is a wonderful week for relationships because we're finding a time of, deep peace, deep bonding in the peace. I'm also seeing that it could be that a partner is going to maybe decide to quit or abandon some kind of crusade they've been on, or maybe some kind of bad habit, possibly even taking a step back from maybe a family or friend influence that always has a tendency to rile them up. And so this is kind of allowing you guys to experience life in a completely different paradigm together. For those of you who are currently maybe single or looking for somebody new, the Five of Wands reversed juxtaposed to the moon is indicating here that there will be somebody showing up, but they're going to be behaving in a way that's a little bit more old-fashioned, a lot more laid back, and a lot less, direct and upfront and forceful in the way that they are going to be energizing their words and actions with you. So you're going to have to practice being a bit perceptive when it comes to who might be actually showing interest when it's coming out in a way that's rather subdued. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.